तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् आददानस्तृणं दन्तरिदं याचे पुनः पुनः श्रीमद्गुरुपदाम्बोज निस्सां जन्म जन्मनि अनर्पितचरिं चिरात् कर्णावतीर्णा कलौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतो जलरसां सभक्तिश्रियं हरिपुरटसुन्दरद्युति कदम्बसन्दीपितः सदा हृदये कन्दरे स्मृत्वा शिखिनन्दिनः. So it is page 126 serially, right? Okay. Means,
yes, Maharaj.
Serially, you have to go to page number 126. Sarvadham, first of all, offer my millions of obeisances, lotus feet of Asmade Guru Pad Padma Nitila Prishta Jagat Guru Shishya Bhakti-Vidanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. Also offer obeisances, lotus feet of Trinity Sannyasi Shishya Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Maharaj Ji and Nam Nishta Santashya Aniruddha Das Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here. Please accept my humble obeisances. So there is no electricity here. So anyways, Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. So the upper sides of these two leaves of sadhan bhakti are extremely soft, smooth and beautiful, and the undersides are rough. Similarly, there are two types of sadhan bhakti. One is raga bhakti, which is rooted in a specific type of greed and is very soft and beautiful. And the other is Vaidhi bhakti, which is rooted in the disciplinary injunctions of the scriptures and is somewhat rough. So basically, the leaves has two sides. One is raga bhakti, which is rooted in a specific type of greed and is very soft and beautiful. Like Srila Gurudev gives the example of greed. He says that what is greed? Greed is something like I am basically very ugly person is there, and that person wants to marry Princess Diana. Srila Gurudev says. Some boy is there, he has very crooked teeth, is not at all good looking. But he can aspire to marry Princess Diana. Now Princess Diana is no more, but that time she was there. And she was known as very beautiful lady. So who doesn't want to marry Princess Diana? Gurudev said. And anyone can maintain that desire. I want to marry a princess like her. So Srila Gurudev says that whatever our condition is, we can aspire for the topmost goal. Yes, I am very much lowly. I don't have any qualification. I am full of anarthas and aparadhas. But still, no one can stop you from dreaming. Just like in India, anyone can dream to be a prime minister or a chief minister. Dream is dream. Understand? You can dream to be the richest person in the world. Who can stop you? So anyone can have that greed. I want to get into the inner circle of Radha Krishna. I want to become very close to Radharani. I want to serve her under the guidance of Lita and Rup Manjari. I want to do this. And who can stop you? No one can stop you. Understand? So that's why this greed is very, very important. तत्र लौल्यमपि मूल्यम एकलम जन्म कोटि सुकृतेर अपि न लभ्यते कृष्ण भक्तेर भावितामति क्रियताम यति कुतोपि लभ्यते तत्र लौल्यमपि मूल्यम एकलम जन्म कोटि सुकृतेर अपि न लभ्यते. So if you can get Krishna bhakti somewhere, then try to get it. But what is the price? Laulyam, the greed. One must have very strong greed. I want to get that. I want to serve Radha Krishna. If you have that greed, then you are qualified to do Raga Bhakti. Then all that you need is association of Rasik Vaishnavas, their service and hearing the Harikatha. So the purport is that Sadhana Bhakti has two qualities. Now we are talking about here is Sadhana Bhakti, the basic Bhakti. The Sadhana Bhakti, what we are doing is Kleshagni. It dispels all misery. Now people are talking all the time. I have this problem, I have that problem, my daughter is not getting married, my son has no work, what should I do? Then, my health is not good, money is not coming, house rent is due. But all miseries can be dispelled by just beginning some bhakti. Hmm. So all miseries will go away. Even if you just begin little sadhana bhakti. The Shubhada, it bestows all auspiciousness. All auspiciousness will happen. Everything auspicious will happen with you. Understand? So you see that other day some Mataji was telling me that Maharaj, I took initiation from Sripad Dandi Maharaj, and then after started chanting the mantras which he has given, he told me that if you chant these mantras, it will be auspicious for you. And since then, everything auspicious is happening in my life. All my problems are gone. So like this. So that Mataji was very happy to accept shelter of Sripad Dandi Maharaj. And I had told her that you accept Sripad Dandi Maharaj as Guru and you take mantra from him. And then what happened that she thanked me also. She said, Maharaj, I really thank you because I met her on Sankirtan. So and she was also doing Gita distribution. So she had Sukruti. Because she had good Sukruti, she got association of Sripad Dandi Maharaj and mantra from him. Otherwise, how could she get it? To get an exalted Guru also, some Sukruti is required. Bhakti Unmukha Sukruti. Understand? So, Shubhada means it bestows all auspiciousness. Bhakti naturally like that. But Bhakti will not come without association of sadhus. That you have to keep in mind. Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta Sangena Parijayate Satsangha Prapyate Pumbhi Sukrute Purva Sanchita. Bhakti will come by sadhu sangha, and sadhu sangha will come if you have some sukruti. If you don't have sukruti, then how will sadhu sangha come? So try to have some sukruti. Try to do Ekadashi, if possible Nirjala or with fruit. Try to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Try to distribute books. Try to serve cows. This is sukruti. Taking bath in Ganga, Radha Kund, doing parikrama of Giraj Govardhan. This is sukruti. This sukruti will give you a high class of sadhu sangha. Understand? And then bhakti will come to you. So here Srila Vishwanath Thakur, with the intention of rendering this subject very simple and readily understandable, has presented an example. Understand? Basically, a lot of people, they get scared of these books, especially Madhurya Kadambini or Bhagavatamritam, Vedanta Sutra. They say that they are ununderstandable. They are very deep, beyond our comprehension. And one speciality of Srila Gurudev was that he was very expert in giving examples and used to render the subject matter in a very simple language. And that's why Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj or Srila Gurudev, Srila Bharati Maharaj, they all were very successful, Srila Dandi Maharaj, that they give very simple examples. Most of the people, they don't have that high level of intellect, they are not too scholarly. But if you make it simple, then they can understand. So Srila Vishwanath Thakur also has presented an example. Since it is an established fact that a quality, guna, and the possessor of that quality, guni, are not separate from one another. So basically, guna means quality, and the possessor of that quality. Like Krishna is, we say that God is love. What does it mean? It means God has love. So He is love. So we say God means compassion. So yes, the compassion is one quality which God has. So that's why He is synonymous with compassion. When we say Krishna means compassion, kindness, mercy, understand? And really speaking, sometimes I realize that how much mercy we are receiving. What Krishna has not done for us, what Radharani has not done for us. Everything that is required for a successful devotional life, they have given us. This human form of life itself is the highest form of art and craftsmanship. How this human form of life is so beautiful. Such hands, legs, eyes, ears, nose, all these senses, they are so working so expertly. Understand? So this human form of life itself is a great boat to cross the ocean of birth and death. And if you don't take advantage of this boat of crossing the ocean of birth and death, then we are killing ourselves. We are committing suicide. So, the import is that two moods govern sadhan bhakti. Since it is an established fact that a quality guna and the possessor of that quality are not separate from each other, we have to understand here that the author delineates sadhan bhakti by describing its two aspects, raga bhakti and vaidhi bhakti, as well as their shared qualities of kleshagni and shubhada. So both actually, if you are performing raga bhakti or vaidhi bhakti, no harm. Your kleshas will go away. It doesn't mean that if you are Ram Bhakta, your kleshas will not go away. If you are a devotee of Narayan, your kleshas will not go away. No. It is the same for all. Whether you are worshipping Narayan or Krishna or Ram or Jagannath, any Vishnu Tattva, your kleshas, your distresses will go away. Understand? So, this is common to all, and auspiciousness will take place in your life. So, the import is that two moods govern sadhan bhakti. The first is greed. Seeing the qualities of bhakti, her softness and charm, her tenderness, her self-manifesting nature, awakens in the heart of a sadhaka a spontaneous greed for bhakti and a desire to attain them. So, how the greed comes? Seeing the qualities of bhakti, her softness. Bhakti is very soft. Bhakti is very soft. Actually, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad, as he used very logic in Bhagavatamrutam, then he said, this logic and reasoning is like a thorn, and bhakti is so soft. So actually, thorn-like logic and reasoning should not have any purpose in this book, like book about bhakti. But unfortunately, if a thorn enters your foot, then you cannot remove it by a lotus petal. A thorn which is stuck in your foot should be removed by another thorn. So, to cut the logic of Mayavadis, Sanatana Goswami Pad also had to use logic. Understand? That is the thing. But generally speaking, bhakti is very, very soft, very, very tender. And charming, very charming. Actually, bhakti is very, very charming. Charming means actually very beautiful. Bhakti is very tender, like lotus petal. And she has a nature, self-manifesting nature. Self-manifesting means on her own accord, she will manifest. Bhakti doesn't need assistance of karma, jnana. On her own, bhakti will manifest. Like children, I have seen. Like in Tirupati, I see so many children. Natural, they have bhakti. They see Krishna, they immediately fold their hands. Prasad, they accept immediately. Kirtan, they clap. This is like self-manifest. Automatically, they have got bhakti. Understand? Because it is the vritti of the soul. And seeing these qualities of bhakti, a spontaneous greed for bhakti awakens in the heart of a sadhaka. And he develops a desire to attain that bhakti. So sadhan bhakti impelled by such natural greed is called raganugama. When the greed is prominent, it is called raganugama. Understand? That is why it is said that a king named Raga has jurisdiction over the soft aspect of bhakti. Now here the Raga is called king. Raga is called king. Sometimes this is all, Vrindavan is a very funny place. They are neither Krishna nor Radharani. They are the king or queen. But it is the Kamadeva who is the king. They say. Krishna says this Kamadeva. He tells gopis that you are stealing flowers from my garden. I'll arrest you and present you before the king, who's Kamadev. But Kama actually is a notorious name. We say, oh, lust, Kama. But Kama also means prema. Kama also means prema. When you are talking about gopis Kama, Gopya Kama, then it should be prema. Understand? Kama means actually here prema. So that is why it is stated that a king named Raga has jurisdiction over soft aspect in bhakti. In other words, raga or prema governs raganuga bhakti at every stage. This raga or attachment is very strong. It governs the bhakti. Because of this prema, sadhakas establish their different relationships with Sri Bhagavan. So you see that Hanuman has a special relationship. He has a special love. I am the Das of Ramchandra. Then Shridham Sakha also has some special relationship. Elder brother of Radharani. I am Sakha of Krishna. I have special relationship. Yashoda has some special relationship. I am Krishna's mother. She has established that relationship. So it is all due to prema. As such, Krishna cannot be the son of anyone. But out of prema, he has accepted, Yashoda and he both have accepted that they are mother and son. Understand? So they accept Shri Bhagavan as their dearly beloved, their life and soul, their son and their friend. Like Arjuna would think Krishna as a friend. Arjuna would not have any hesitation stretching his feet near Krishna, and Krishna also has no hesitation stretching his feet towards Arjuna's head. And their wives may fan both of them either way. Understand? Now, talking about this fanning, actually, Srila Gurudev used to say that fanning is such an intimate seva. Like many times I have seen that previously there used to be fans, hand fans, and they would be using by hands, they used to give air. So handheld fans, understand. Now the electric fans have come, so less chance to serve Gurudev. But I remember that Srila Gurudev's time, they used to tell that our Mathura Gaudiya got very hot in the summer season, and we used to go and to Gurudev's room and used to fan till he falls asleep. So servants and disciples would have that opportunity to do that intimate seva. But now everything is electric based, so no opportunity for seva. Understand? So previously massage also, devotees used to go and do massage to Srila Gurudev. But these days they have massage machines that you sit in that machine automatically get massage. So then less chance of seva. Understand? But previously there were so many opportunities to do seva. So, and here also say that one relationship with Bhagavan is the spiritual master. Now Arjuna accepted that relationship. He said, Krishna is my spiritual master. Shishyasteham shadi mam tam prapannam. Karpanya doshopahatas sabhava pruchhami tam dharma sammudha cheta. Yash shreyasyam nishchitam purohitan me Shishyasteham shadi mam tam prapannam. Arjuna said to Krishna that I am very much perturbed, disturbed. Please accept me as your disciple and please instruct me. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should attack Bhishma and Karna and Dronacharya and others. So Krishna became spiritual master of Arjuna. And they are confident in, or their worshipper presiding deity. Like Gopis says, oh, is our beloved friend. Krishna is our best friend. Understand? So Bhagavan Kapil Dev spoke the following to his mother. Devavati. Now Devavati very fortunate lady. The daughter of Swayambha Manu. And Swayambha Manu offered her to Kardama Muni. Now Kardama Muni, he kind of saw that Devavati wants to enjoy. But Kardama Muni had become old by doing austerities. And Devavati also doing austerities with Kardama Muni also became an old. But then by yogic power of Kardama Muni, Devavati and Kardama Muni both became young. And then Kardama Muni expanded himself in so many forms and produced so many baby girls from Devavati. So many daughters were born from Devi. And finally, he begot one son, who was incarnation of Godhead called Kapil Dev. The Kapil Dev wanted to go to do austerities to the forest, but before that his mother requested him, please give me transcendental knowledge, I am a woman. So he instructed his mother that na karhichit matparaha shanta rupe. So he's telling that, oh mother, for devotees who are granted such spiritual fortune, there is no question of their losing that fortune, nor can the vigilant movements of the cycle of time destroy it. Now, once you have got this fortune of having a spiritual master, Chakshudana dilo de janme janme prabhu se divya gyan hruday prakash. Once you got that connection with the spiritual master, then you should not worry. Then that spiritual master is responsible to take you to the spiritual world. All you have to do is follow the instructions of that spiritual master. Your good fortune cannot be destroyed by anything. Obviously, if you commit Vaishnava Aparadh, that fortune will vanish. But if you don't commit Vaishnava Aparadh, don't criticize anyone, although you may not be a very strong devotee, but you are following as much as possible Gurudev's instructions sincerely, then Gurudev will certainly deliver you. Understand? And the time cannot annihilate a devotee. If someone will chant the name of Krishna even once, sincerely, the time factor cannot affect him. This is because I am as dear to such devotees as their own self, as an object of affection like a son, as an object of trust like a friend and a preceptor, as a benefactor, as their worshipful Lord. Devotees forms a relationship with Bhagavan. Relationship is everything. For example, like in Maharashtra, there is one chief minister, Uddhav Thackeray. Now he has a son called Aditya Thackeray. Aditya Thackeray is a very young chap, very young fellow. But he already made him a minister, cabinet minister in his cabinet. And also giving him so much preference. Because why? My son. That relationship he has. So Aditya Thackeray, if he had been some other boy, he would not get such a chance. But his father is chief minister. So he is encouraging his son. Like that. So relationship is very, very important. Like in Bengal also, Mamata Banerjee, she is encouraging her, nephew, brother's son. She is encouraging him. Abhishek Banerjee or something. Understand? So like that. So they are doing that. Because the relationship is so important in the spiritual world. If you have a relationship with Bhagavan or Gurudev, then you can inherit them, their wealth, bhakti. So other impetus for a sadhaka to engage in sadhana bhakti is fear born of the regulations of the scriptures. The scriptures are very scary. Like we study sometimes descriptions of hells given in Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, how there are 26 types of hells, and what happens if you do this, what hell you go to, and what happens in that hell, and especially chapter 5, canto 5, text 66, so many hells have been described. Asipatravan, and this hell and that hell. In Varaha Purana also I read once about hells. And really, it really scares you. It really, really scares you. The hellish punishment. And that's why a lot of people actually in India, they don't do so much nonsense because they're afraid of hell. They're really afraid of hell. Especially the cardinal sins like enjoying with someone else's wife, or stealing someone's wealth, drinking liquor, lying. These are all very much dreadful sins. But we are so fortunate that because we are doing bhakti, all these sins are eradicated. But we must not get again entangled in all these sins on the strength of chanting the holy name. Because again it will be an offense otherwise. So, the other impetus for a sadhaka to engage in sadhana bhakti is born of the regulations of scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam declares that without rendering loving devotion to Bhagwan, Bhagavad Bhakti, the living entity can never cross the vast ocean of repeated birth and death. Because the root cause of this material existence, which is comprised of birth and death, is the bondage of illusion, and Bhagavad Bhakti is the only means to break it. So we are in Maya, and Bhagavad Bhakti can break that shackles of Maya. So Bhagavatam, which is the crest jewel of all the Puranas, Nimna Gana Metha Ganga Devana Machyutata Vaishnavana Metha Shambhu Purana Nidantata. So best of the Puranas says that loving devotional service we should render to Bhagavan. If you don't render devotional service to Bhagavan, you cannot cross the ocean of birth and death. Repeated birth and death. That means how terrible this ocean must be, the ocean of birth and death. Birth is so painful. Birth is so painful, unimaginably painful. And what to speak of death? Cough, walk, picked up bile, mucus, air, your throat is choked, you cannot breathe properly. Imagine. And there is an ocean of such birth and death. Means billions and billions of births and billions of deaths we have undergone. If you want to stop this cycle of birth and death, then you have to do Bhagavad Bhakti. So Tasmat Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 1st chapter, 5th verse. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shotavya Kirtadavyascha Smartavyascha Chetam Bhayam. O descendant of King Bharat, this Parishit Maharaj, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of God. We should always discuss Harikatha. Understand? Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantischa Mam Nitya Tushyanticha Ramanticha. The devotees, they have given their heart to Krishna. They always discuss the pastimes of Krishna. Understand? They always glorify Krishna and they always remember Krishna, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. So Krishna is called super soul, Atma, Paramatma. He is the Atma of all living entities, Paramatma. He is the Atma of all Atmas. He is the super soul. He is the controller, he is Ishvara. Supreme controller. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of all causes. And he saves us from the miseries. His name is, he is Rakshak, the protector, guardian. So, the type of sadhana bhakti practiced as a result of hearing such scriptural statement is called Vaidhi. Oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, He will protect us from the sin, He will deliver us from the repeated cycle of birth and death, which is very painful. When hearing such statements of Srimad Bhagavatam, other scriptures, one develops bhakti, that is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Practitioners of Vaidhi Bhakti engage in the various limbs of bhakti, not out of affection for Bhagavan, but in an attempt to end their suffering. So basically, it's okay to end the suffering. At least that much intelligence they have, that I am suffering. Lot of people, they don't know even they are suffering. Understand? Devotees at least have that much intelligence to know that I am suffering. You ask people in the morning, go on a morning walk in, say, Tompkins Square Park or any park, howdy. Howdy means, how are you? America. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay. They don't even know they are not okay. Understand? They don't know they are not fine. I'm okay. I'm all right. How's it going? Pretty good. Not pretty good. Understand? So it means that at least, but Sanatana Goswami, if you ask him, how are you? Then he will say, Kya ami? Keno ama ke jala japa jala tapatra. Why these threefold miseries? Aridhavik, Adhyatmik, Adhivodik. Glaciers are giving me suffering. Understand? So, so we have to realize we are suffering. A lot of people don't know that they are suffering. Understand? So practitioners of Vaidhi Bhakti engage in the various limbs of Bhakti, not out of affection for Bhagavan, but in an attempt to end their suffering. For this reason, Vaidhi Bhakti is said to be tough and coarse, not rooted in an intimate, pure relationship of attachment to the Lord. So, okay, Vaidhi Bhakti is rough and coarse, no harm. No harm, but at least do it. If you cannot do Raga Marga Bhakti, then at least do Vaidhi Bhakti. Whether with sentiment or without sentiment, chant the Harinam. With attachment or without attachment, knowingly or unknowingly, whether you like it or not, start chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. If you are not doing your Diksha mantras, then you should again start repeating the Diksha mantras. Some devotees ask question that Maharaj, we are skipping Diksha mantras, and now again we want to start. So do we have to hear the mantras again from Gurudev? I said no. If you have heard the mantras once and if you remember them, please go ahead and start chanting these mantras 3 times a day. And chant Hare Krishna mantra. That will stop the cycle of birth and death. Understand? Don't ignore your Diksha mantras. Don't ignore the Harinam. Guru Goshthe Goshtale. Sujane Usargane. Samantre Shri Namni. Brajanavayo Dvanto Sharani. Sada Dambam Hitva Kururatim Apurvam Atidaram. May Swantar Bhratas Chataviradiyacha Tirthapada. And Raghunath Goswami is telling you have strong attachment for the holy name and Diksha mantras. We should chant them with serious attention, carefully. Whether we have a taste for chanting or not. It is likened to the tough underside of a leaf. This indicates that compared with Raga Bhakti, Vaidhi Bhakti is inferior. In the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti, the rules and regulations of scriptures are predominant. This type of sadhan bhakti is therefore described as being under the jurisdiction of a king named Vaidha or regulation. So basically, Vaidhi Bhakti is based on the rules and regulations of the scriptures. Understand? Both sides, upper and lower of the leaves on a vine have similar properties. It is not that the leaves soft upper surface has certain properties and that of the lower rougher surface has others. Similarly, the nature of Vaidha Sadhan Bhakti and the nature of Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti is almost the same. Both equally effective in removing the sorrows and granting auspiciousness. So whether you are doing Vaidhi Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti, your sorrow will go away, auspiciousness will come in your life. Understand? So, start doing whatever bhakti you are qualified to do. At least Vaidhi Bhakti. Start doing some kirtan at home. And Sri Rupa Goswami has written, Yatra Raganavatpat. So this is from Bhakti Rasamrita. Bhakti is sometimes inspired by greed and sometimes impelled by dictates of the scriptures. Yatra Raga Navaptat Pravrittir Upajayate. Shasane Naiva Shastrasya Savaidha Bhakti Vichati. Devotion that is not incited by greed but by the mandate of scripture is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Oh, thank you so much. Light just came. It was so hot out here. And talking about the miseries, and this was another misery. I was completely perspiring. Understand? Just like from the perspiration of Vishnu, Garbha ocean manifested. I thought some other ocean will manifest from my perspiration. Understand? But then I saw, I went, Sripad Dandi Maharaj once sent me to some naturopathic clinic in Vijayawada. And there was a sauna. Sauna is like hot stones on fire and so hot, and you have to sit there 5-10 minutes. So all toxins will come as perspiration from your body. And I said, this Tirupati is like a natural sauna. You turn off the fan, automatically you are perspiring. Understand? All toxins coming out there. Understand? So basically, many times I become scared actually. When I used to walk into sauna, and I used to say, sometimes think if someone will lock the door from outside and I'm left in this hot thing inside, I'll be dead in 10 minutes. It was so hot inside sauna, bath. And sometimes I used to wash the pots in New York, ISKCON temple, White Skimmeron temple, and there was a walk-in refrigerator. And sometimes I used to think if I walk into the refrigerator to get some vegetables and someone closes the door on me, I'm dead. It's so cold in the walk-in refrigerator. And I went to Siberia and I stepped out for a moment and I said, if they don't let me back in, I'll be dead. It's so cold out there, outside. Without a coat, you will be dead. Minus 40 degrees, 45 degrees. So basically, these are miseries. We are not realizing how miserable we can be. Sometimes we are thirsty and not getting water. What will you do? Understand? We really thank Krishna that he has given some facilities to us. Like the basic facilities like water, some electricity, fan. It's all Krishna's mercy. So also Srila Vishwanath Thakur has written, Rago atra Shri Murter Darshanat Dashama Skandiya Tal Lila Katha Shravanach Bhajana Lova. Now, greed that arises in the performance of bhajan upon beholding the deity of Bhagwan or by hearing the sweet narrations of Krishna's pastimes, as related in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is called Raga. Now, this was the thing actually. Srila Gurudev once, they told Gurudev that, why you only discuss 10th canto? Then Srila Gurudev said that what is remains in Bhagavatam if you don't discuss 10th canto? This 10th canto is so important. And he said Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj also first, he went to United States of India. He published the Krishna book, which is nothing but his commentary on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the condensed version of 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He has given the gist in a story form. And all the devotees in ISKCON also, after they have come from Sankirtan, night time they did not used to eat very heavy foodstuffs, but some puffed rice and some glass of milk, and all the devotees while honoring this prasadam of puffed rice and milk, they used to, so one devotee used to read Krishna book, others used to listen, understand. So it is very, very important that we read this 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. That will create a type of greed. That will increase our raga, develop our raga, attachment. Especially Dam Bandhan Leela, how Mother Yashoda is binding Krishna by the rope. It is very, very important. This 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important. We should try to hear this 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Bhakti not instigated by such greed, but rather impelled by the injunction of Scripture is called Vaidhi Bhakti. But suppose you have not heard the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, then your bhakti will be like Vaidhi Bhakti. Suppose you have not seen the deities, very beautiful deities, or not heard the sweet, sweet 10th canto from very elevated Vaishnavas, then you cannot do Raga Bhakti. That greed will come only when we hear 10th canto or see the deities. Understand? But if you have not heard 10th canto, but we have heard some first canto, second canto also, no harm. You can begin your Vaidhi Bhakti. Both type of bhaktis will relieve you from distresses, unhappiness, lamentation, irritation, depression, psychological problems, everything. Everything will be taken care. So Sri Shukdev Goswami said to Parikshit Maharaj, as quoted previously from Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shotavya Kirtaveshya Smartaveshya Chitambara. In other words, in order to become liberated from the clutches of fearsome death, now talk about it. Everyone is so scared of death. Because death is something that takes away everything. Mrityu sarva harashcha. Death will take away everything. Like to take a position of Prime Minister or Chief Minister, uh, so difficult. And to give it up also very, very difficult. Like if you become president and then after that you don't want to go away from that seat. You are so addicted to that seat. What to speak of giving up all your possessions, giving up even this body, all relatives, friends, and going away from this place. Fearsome. It is so fearsome. And extremely terrifying. Hellish punishment. And death is not the end of all. A more terrifying hellish punishment is after that. And this is especially due to the excessive attachment to the body. Life is sin really because of attachment to the body. Engaging in illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, meat eating, all these things are done due to the excessive attachment to the body. And to world relationships. Relationships are also very strong. Like in India, grandson, grandmother. The grandmother has seen her daughter's marriage, her son's marriage. But there are so many grandmothers, they are already hankering to see their grandson's marriage also. They not only have looked after their babies, own babies, they have looked after their grandsons also. Now they think that, oh, maybe I will be able to also play with my great grandsons. Understand? So much attachment. So much attachment. So these are all worldly relationships. And in order to attain supreme happiness, it is imperative for the jiva to utter the holy name of Shri Hari. But if you want to be happy, then these relations in the world cannot make you happy. But only the name of Hari can make you happy. Because I have seen after some time, the relationships become sour, bitter. Understand? However, the good relationships may be, but after some time, the relationships break or become very, very weak. Even family relationships. Understand? So, the jiva must utter the holy name of Hari. Hear discussions about his pastimes. Now we must try to hear 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is very, very important. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in Chitra Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. And one must engage in one-pointed remembrance of him. Not that sometimes remember this God, that God, sometimes Jagannath, sometimes Sita Ram, sometimes Lakshmi Narayan. No. Always remembering Radha Krishna. This is very important. Always we should remember the form of Bhagwan. Pastimes of Bhagwan. So the practice of those who perform bhakti after hearing is called Vaidhi Bhakti. So those who perform this bhakti after hearing is called Vaidhi Bhakti. The inner surface of both leaves on the vine of devotion, Bhakti Lata, is soft, shiny and beautiful. This inner side has thus been compared to a Raga Bhakti, devotion with ardent attachment. One should understand Raga Bhakti to mean Raga Nuga Bhakti. The devotion of the associate of Braja is called Ragatmika Bhakti. Like Gandhamara, Yashoda, Radha, Lalita, Vishakha, all their bhakti is called Ragatmika Bhakti. We cannot get Ragatmika Bhakti, but we will get Raganuga Bhakti, follow in their footsteps. Devotion performed under the guidance of these earnestly perfected associates is called Raganuga Bhakti. So very important verse. Ishte swarasiki raga paramavishtaya bhavet tanmaya bhavet bhakti satra agat. A deep spontaneous obsession or an unrelenting yearning for one's chosen worshipful deity is called raga. We are hankering for Krishna. Bhajananandan Shamsundar Krishna, his form, his qualities, glorifying him. Then that is called raga. And devotion imbued with this loving mood is called raga. So the discussion will carry on. Virajantim abhivyaktim brajavasi janadishu ragatmikam anusrita yasa ragatmikopchami. Hare Krishna. So we'll carry on this next time. Thank you so much. Vanchakalpatru Vaishakrupa Sindhavya Parinanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, because studying Madhurya Kadambini is very, very important. Every word we should discuss, study, and try to remember, read and read again. Understand. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dhanabad. Hi. We're going to chant, right?
Okay, sure. So chanting is most important.
Yeah, so we're going to sing a little. So, okay, we're going to chant.
Chi Didi, Maharaj actually didn't have power earlier. So that's why the fan was off. But now power came back. So he has fan. Maharaj, Chi Didi is from Hong Kong. So she's asking you don't have fan.
No, fan is there. There's a ceiling fan, there's a table fan, but electricity is gone, because that is what reminds you of Radha. Because Krishna alone cannot do anything, because Krishna is like fan and Radharani is like electricity. So without electricity, what will fan do? Understand? So Krishna is the engineer, Radharani is the energy. Shakti Mata Raveda. Without Shakti, we are so helpless. So we need the help of Shakti.
Maharaj, if everybody understand that, the world will really go good.
Right. Because you see that Srila Gurudev says, Swami Maharaj also says, actually, he says that energy, Shakti, basically, Shakti Parinambad, this material world and also the spiritual world and all the living entities, they are the manifestation of Krishna's Shakti. Other Sampradayas, they have Brahma Parinambad, that everything is transformation of the Supreme Brahma. But in our Sampradaya, Achintya Bhedabhed Tattva, everything is manifestation of Krishna's Shakti. So in that sense, we are all coming from Radharani, because transformations of that transcendental Shakti is what this material world is manifest. We are manifest from transformation of the Shakti. We are Jiva Shakti, material world is Jada Shakti, and spiritual world is Chit Shakti. So these threefold energies manifesting entire thing. Understand?
So what has caused this blockage between people who feel that they're more upper than anybody else? Everybody feel that they're in different classes. Why? What caused this?
Actually, it is the ego, false ego. It is some type of conception we have. That I have a conception which is formed due to the ahankara, that I am Indian, I am male, I am female. But as such, the spirit soul doesn't really, is not male or not female, or the spirit soul is not, we are having that conception. That's why Mahaprabhu the first verse that called Bhuta Shuddhi. When we do Annik, we are supposed to do Bhuta Shuddhi. Bhuta Shuddhi means give up all these conceptions and become situated in only one single conception, that I am the servant of Krishna. So that's the verse we must chant. नाहम विप्रो न च नरपतिर नापि वैश्यो न शूद्रो नोवा वर्णी न च गृहपतिर वनस्थो यतिर्वा किंतु प्रोद्यन निखिल परमानंदम पूर्णामृताब्धेर गोपी भर्तृ पद कमलयोर दास दासानुदास. That is the verse we are supposed to chant before Annik. Srila Gurudev told that I am the servant of the gopis, Krishna. That's all. I am not Indian, Chinese, American, male, female, no, nothing. These are all external identification. Many people think I am Prime Minister, I am Chief Minister, I am rich, I am poor. This is all false. Everything when you die, you have to give it up. Old age will carry you by force. Understand? That's why we try to read such books. Madhurya Kadambini, the shower of nectar. Shower of nectar. This book is really shower of nectar. It's the topmost book about bhakti. If you develop bhakti, then automatically renunciation will come. Bhakti pareshan bhava varaktir. Annatra chesha trikak kala. Prapadya manas yatha shruta sthit. Tushti pushti kshada payano thasa. Suppose you are taking food, little khichdi. If you are hungry and you are taking khichdi, then with every single morsel of khichdi you put in your mouth, you will get more and more strength. You will get sweet taste also. Khichdi is so tasty. And then, so like that, if you are doing bhakti, automatically renunciation will come. Not separate, automatically it will come. Like in India, they make khichdi. Khichdi also has many friends like papadam, pickle, other things. But even khichdi, simple khichdi that is made, is offered to the Lord, is so nourishing. A lot of devotees simply taking khichdi, they are actually survive. For example, this founder of the Apple company, he was actually Steve Jobs. He went to India, he was very poor. And he didn't know where to eat. So he used to go to ISKCON temple, there was a food for life program. Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj started. So he used to stand in the queue and other people used to take the khichdi. For many months he survived like that. So he was said, I am indebted to this Hare Krishna devotees. They gave me khichdi when I was nobody. I was poverty-stricken person. Understand? So prasadam. Prasade sarva dukkhanam hani asyata jayate. So you should try to know that Krishna's name, Krishna's prasadam, Krishna's devotees, they are transcendental. They are not different from Krishna. If we develop this conviction, then our life is very easy. We are fortunate if we can develop this conception. Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi Salpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasareva. Those who have very meager pious merit in their bank account, they have never developed faith in Vaishnavas, the holy name of Krishna, like this. They never develop that faith. But we are so fortunate that we are getting Mahaprasad. We are able to have darshan of Tulasi. Tulasi dekhi judaye pranam. Madhava toshani jani. Gaurav priya shaka sevane. Jivana sarthaka mani. Shak means some type of vegetables. Spinach. The shaka. And I went to Bengal and I saw so many types of spinach and greens actually. And they make so many types of preparations in Bengali devotees. And Mahaprabhu used to love this shak. Palak. Very much used to love it. So, when we take the remnants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna, then we should think our life is successful. We got now Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad is what? It is the Adharamrut of Krishna. Understand? So, and what to speak of if we get Gurudev's remnants, some elevated Vaishnava's remnants, oh, we are so fortunate. I remember that the Gurudev's remnants we used to get after the festival. They used to, one Mataji, especially Shamala Mataji, she's from China, but living in Vrindavan. So Shamala Didi, she used to bring the remnants of Gurudev and she used to give to everyone. So Like this. Those who got remnants of Srila Gurudev, Srila Dandi Maharaj, such elevated Vaishnavas, then they get bhakti. Uh, so, bhakti naturally comes if you honor the remnants of Vaishnavas. If you take their food dust, food bath water, Bhakta pada dhulyara, bhakta pada jala, bhakta bhukta avashashatina sadhina ravala, itina seva haite Krishna prema haya, sarva shastra, pukarya kaha. All the scriptures declare, proclaim that if you accept the food bath water of Vaishnavas, if you take the remnants, certainly bhakti will come. Bhakti must come. When you take the food dust of Vaishnavas, bhakti must come. Bhakti resides in these things. Understand? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, Jedina Gruhe Bhajana Dekhi Grihete Goloka Bhaya Charana Sidhu Dekhiya Ganga Sukhana Sima Paya. Jedina Gruhe Bhajana Dekhi Grihete Goloka Bhaya. You are living in householder life. But your wife is chanting, your son is chanting, your daughter is chanting, your wife is chanting, your uncle is chanting, your grandmother is chanting, grandchildren are chanting. Then that house is like almost like Golok. Understand? It is no more a blind well. It is a very sweet place. The bhakti is going on. Understand? For example, Raghunatha Goswami, Mahaprabhu told him to, allowed him to leave his house. Because his father were not really devotees, they were like devotees. Youngster, Vaishnavas. Understand? So in such case, you can leave household life. But if your parents are really devotees, then what is the need to leave your parents and anything? You can do bhakti with your parents. No harm. So, this Ragatmika Bhakti, the Rag is their Atma. Like Radha, Lita, Vishakha, Yashoda, their Rag, the spontaneous love is their Atma. We want to follow in their footsteps. So any bhakti that is done in the footsteps of this Ragatmika is called Raganugata. Raganugata. Hare Krishna. Please sing, Didi. Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, sing. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakti-Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
And
Hare
thank
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for chorus. Next
Hare
time,
Krishna.
next time, I want you to touch on soul, on the spirit soul. What is it? How it functions and stuff like that.
Sure. Hare Krishna. Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, I had asked you to about this business thing I do in, how to open it, how to open the place. You didn't tell me anything.
About what?
The place that I told you I open in the town.
Oh.
Before I go in, I want to open it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I will ask Maharaj. Huh? Yes. Tomorrow I'll ask. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Satima.
okay. Anup Krishna Prabhu, Jai Dhani.
Maharaj. Shri Guru Gaurang Gadaripa Giridhari Radha Vinod Bharji ki jai.
Jai Ho.
Om Vishnu Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Daivata Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Om Vishnu Padad Ankotara Shastra Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Ho.
Nitile Pravishna Vishnu Parastotara Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai
Nitile
Ho.
Pravishna Vishnu Parastotara Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai
Nitile
Ho.
Pravishna Vishnu Parastotara Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. Nitile
Jai Ho.
Pravishna Vishnu Parastotara Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Gyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Ho.
Nitile Pravishna Vishnu Parastotara Shata Shishira Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Ho.
Nitile Pravishna Parama Bhagavat Pravara Shri Shila Gauri Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Ho.
Nitile Pravishna Shila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Nitile
Jai Ho.
Pravishna Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri
Jai Ho.
Gaudiya Vedanta Shri Shila Baladev Vidya Bhushan Prabhu ki jai. Shila
Jai Ho.
Vishwanath Thakur ki jai. Shila Narottam Srinivas Shyamnanda Prabhu Trai ki jai. Shila
Jai Ho.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Rupa
Jai
Sanatana Bhakta Vinaya Jiva Gopal Bhatt Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki jai.
Jai
Kisuru
Ho.
Damodar गौर प्रसाद बिंद की जय
Jai
नामाचार्य
Ho.
से हरदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सती गौर भक्त वृंद की जय
Jai Ho.
श्री अंतर्द्वीप माइक सीमन द्वीप गोद्रुम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप कोला द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मोत्र द्वीप रुद्र द्वीप पत्ती नवद्वीप धाम की जय श्री
Jai
श्री
Ho.
राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनत्मका शिव भज मंडल की जय श्री राधिकुल
Jai.
श्याम कुंज गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय
Jai
श्रीमती
Ho.
विंध्य देवी की जय श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय श्री गोपीश
Jai Ho.
वर महादेव की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय श्री
Jai
श्वेता
Ho.
मंदिर की जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशिकारी नरसिंहदेव की जय
Jai
भक्त
Ho.
प्रवार प्रहलाद महाराज की जय चार
Jai Ho.
धाम की जय चार
Jai Ho.
संप्रदाय की जय चार आचार्य की जय अकर्मा
Jai Ho.
राशि चैतन्य मात की जय श्री श्री
Jai
केशव
Ho.
जी गौरिया महोता चक्रमत समूह की जय
Jai
ग्रंथराज
Ho.
श्रीमद भागवत की जय श्री मधुर
Jai Ho.
कदम्बिनी की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत
Jai Jai.
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय सामगाद भक्त वृंद की जय
Jai
श्री
Jai.
निताय गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल
Jai. Amar Krishna Prabhu ki. Hare.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming. Even
Divya.
though you didn't have power, you still made it.
Hare Krishna.
So thank you, Maharaj, again. Dandavat Prams. Just one quick announcement. Tomorrow is Java Dharma with Sripad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Daivata Maharaj. I will send you all the link now. And please do try and attend tomorrow, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna Dandavat Prams. Vancha kalpa turubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha. Patitanam pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vaishnavebhyo namo
Sai
namah.
Gaur Premanand.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Dandavat
Hari
Prams,
Gaur.
dear devotees. Dandavat Maharaj. Maharaj, thank you for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.